I'm Jenn Chávez, and this is The Evergreen, a podcast about the place you call home. When I'm walking around, out and about, I often wonder about the lives of people I see at work in different professions. What made them want to have that job in the first place? Is it hard? Do they see themselves doing that forever? Luckily for me, I have the perfect job to ask people those questions. So I did.
There's an intimacy to poetry. There's an intimacy to being read a poem by somebody else. There's an intimacy to being the only person that another person is reading a poem to.
If there's not a lot of clouds, you'll see Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams. I mean, the views from my route are beautiful.
Generations of people like, oh, I used to come here when I was a kid, and the lady's like 60 years old, and it's like, oh, you probably saw my grandpa.
This week, we're bringing you another episode of our At Work With series. It's where we talk to Pacific Northwesterners who do something cool or interesting and ask them your questions about what it's like to do what they do. First up, let me introduce you to someone you may catch gazing out a window.
Hello. Hi. I am recording right now.
Will do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
I'm in Anis Mojgani's studio. He served 2 terms as Oregon's Poet Laureate. This is where he writes and works on artwork. It's crammed with books, papers, and art supplies. The thing Mojgani likes best about his studio is the window.
The light comes in really, really lovingly. It's right across from a schoolyard, so I get to kind of like watch the strange ongoings of comedy and drama on the schoolyard between the ages of like 5 and 13, which is just fascinating.
One night, a friend dropped by and inadvertently gave him the idea for a poetry event he's been doing occasionally for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I was like hanging out at the studio, and my friend Jenn was coming by, and she knocked on the window, and we started talking through the window as opposed to like going to do something. And it just felt like fun. Like there was something about it that felt like, very old school, like Sesame Street. We were like, we should do this again, just hang out with the window, but maybe with more people.
The readings are called simply Poems at Sunset Out a Window.
I made up a poster, and 2 days later, like 50, 60 folks were outside the window sitting on chairs in the street, and I read them poems at sunset, and, it just felt like nice.
Eyeless and beautiful, you make your way still through. Oh, little heart, that I could lift you out my chest, hold you safe in my palms, let you know how safe and already loved you are. Touch the one thing you want so much to give away to others. Kiss you and set you down gently back inside of my own being. Oh, little heart, it is morning. There is no need for dreaming. Are there not 2 of us here already? Lead me. Tell me where to follow you, and I will.
One of the things he likes about it is that it's different every time he does it.
I have a list usually of like poems that maybe I'll read, but I never know like what's going to happen at the window, what I will talk about, what I will say. And so it allows me as an artist to, I think, connect a bit more fully with my own ideas of like, what does it mean to engage with performance? What does it mean to engage with audience? What does it mean to kind of, perform art for people?
One of our listeners was curious about what goes on at Mojgani's studio when he's not performing. They asked, what does a good writing day look like for you?
Sometimes like a good day is just like the fact that I showed up and sat down for work, and that I'm just here and I'm making myself present and I'm doing the work of just kind of like seeking to let go of any of the noise and the doubt and the hurt that is just kind of like constant conversation seeking to keep me from those tasks at hand. I think ultimately, like, if at the end of the day, like, I just felt like I was present in some form or fashion. Like, I want some sort of engagement with myself, with the world around me.
Another listener wanted to know, did Mojgani discover he was a poet, or did he always know in some way?
You know, I definitely had the room to let my imagination spin stories and write those down, but didn't really think about what my relationship to poetry could be until taking a creative writing class in my last year of high school. And that introduced more poems to me than one normally receives in the classroom throughout school, and also prompted me to start writing poems, you know, and kind of like, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to write a poem?
Mojgani was born and raised in New Orleans. He moved to Portland, Oregon in 2004. He said becoming poet laureate made him feel like his chosen home was really embracing him.
It feels really, really great to like step up and want to serve a place that is important to me in a specific way. And that place essentially saying like, yes, we would like you to serve us in this way. You know, like, yeah, you are welcome to do this. You are part of here. You are part of us.
Something he's been thinking about in his role as poet laureate is how he's subverting people's expectations of what someone from this place is supposed to be like.
When somebody jokingly speaks to the truth that like there's no black people in Portland, yes, that's like a funny truth. And also at the same time, it's not true. Like, there are lots of black people who live in this city. You know, there are thriving communities of lots of different backgrounds in the city. And so I say that with regards to kind of like, personally, considering myself, it is important for me in reflecting on like public life in Oregon. What does that mean? That means that like, I am an Oregonian. You know, an Oregonian is not simply just like one specific type of person that I think like is held as, oh, this is what it means to live in Oregon.
He explained that sometimes that means he doesn't necessarily want to experience nature in the same ways as his fellow Oregonians.
I love the nature and environment of this state so much. Like, it's a huge reason as to why I love getting to live here. But I also have a different engagement with it than someone else, perhaps. And so, like, you know, the element of being in Portland where as soon as the sun is out, it's like, all right, time to go do this hiking or this rafting or this exploration amongst the woods. And like me, like, as soon as the sun's out, I want to sit at that table next to the window in the coffee shop and have the sun warm me. You know, like, I want to step in the middle of the day into a very cold movie theater just so that I can like exit into the sunlight. Like, these are things that I love to do when the sun is out.
April is known as National Poetry Month, which means it's a busy time for Mojgani. 2 years ago, he created the Telepoem telephone line. It's a phone line anyone can call at any time during the month of April and hear a different poem being read aloud each day.
There's an intimacy to poetry. There's an intimacy to being read a poem by somebody else. There's an intimacy to being the only person that another person is reading a poem to. There's an intimacy to simply listening to something and not like being in a position where one is able to respond or needs to respond.
The poetry phone line is a great example of what it means to be a poet laureate.
That involves basically like finding the ways to serve the people of Oregon and to serve poetry, and how those two things might get to have larger conversations with one another, a fostering of one towards the other, an introduction of one towards the other, developing and stirring of one towards the other.
At the end of this year's National Poetry Month, Mojgani will also be ending his second term as Oregon's Poet Laureate. He'll hand the title over to someone else. I asked what advice he has for them.
There may be parts of this that are very different than what you might expect them to be. And so in response to that's all right, and that's how it is with everything. And that there's like so much really miraculous stuff to experience, I think, as laureate. You know, I hope that they're able to take great advantage of what that might mean in a multitude of ways.
When I asked him what his plans are after April 30th, his answer was very simple.
Doing nothing.
For now, the Telepoem phone line lives on. To hear today's poem, you can call 503-928-7008. Anis Mojgani isn't the only one who loves Oregon's natural beauty. Connie Gunn spends most of her day admiring the views or dealing with the weather. That's because she's a mail carrier in rural Scappoose. My colleague Lillian Kerbake spent the day with her.
It's 7:28 a.m. when Connie Gunn pulls into the parking lot of the Scappoose post office.
When you have a work stress dream, what goes wrong in your dream?
I don't deliver the mail. I go home, I load up, and I go home, and I go to bed, and I wake up at like 8 o'clock at night and forget that I didn't go and deliver.
That's never actually happened in the 21 years Connie Gunn has been a mail carrier out of Scappoose. Her route requires 46 miles of driving through twisty gravel mountain roads and reaches 1,600 feet in elevation. And she does it all in one of the 30-year-old iconic metal USPS box trucks, driving on the right side of the road. They're appropriately called long life vehicles, or LLVs.
The LLVs are 20 degrees hotter inside than it is outside. And so when it's 80 degrees outside, it's about 100 in our vehicles. It's just like a little microwave oven in there.
She has a secret for that, though.
I have a swimming pool to jump into halfway through my route if I need it.
Okay, tell me about the logistics of jumping into the swimming pool, because I imagine.
I only take off my shoes, fully clothed in the swimming pool. That's it. And they have a towel waiting for me. It's great.
After 10 years on the same route, Gunn has become friends with many of her customers. Her journey as a postal carrier began in the early aughts after she separated from the military as a combat medic and a radio operator in the U.S. Coast Guard.
So when you first start, you're a rural carrier associate, and you can work anywhere from 4 to 10 days a month.
She worked every Saturday for 11 years as an RCA. She had to wait until someone retired to become career with full-time hours. 10 years ago, she bid for the first route that opened, Rural Route Number 2, her least favorite.
I stayed away from it like the plague.
Why?
It was too far out. And at the time, I had like a Columbia River Highway / in-town route, and so I thought that was just easier.
But she's fallen in love with it over the past decade.
If there's not a lot of clouds, you'll see Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams. I mean, the views from my route are beautiful.
But it's not all sunshine and mountains.
What's the hardest part about being a mail carrier?
Sometimes it's the time. It's the time that it takes to do your job, hoping that you'll get off in time to be with friends and family or an event. I think that can be overwhelming and stressful. I mean, besides weather. Weather's always stressful.
The first thing on today's agenda, sorting the mail in the back room.
Oh, you each have your own little, boxes.
Yes. A lot of people think that, it's already sitting here ready for us in our vehicles and we don't have to do anything. No, there's a lot more to it than just that.
And there is a lot to sort. Gunn stands in a small cubicle decorated with mail-themed gifts from her customers. She starts organizing every single piece of mail in her 724 address route. There are labels for every customer.
And I start with flats, which are what you considered magazines. And then I take my chucks, or what you guys consider small parcels, and put those into my case. And then I pull it all down, and then I'm ready to go out on the street.
She moves quickly, almost like a ballerina, glancing at each letter and pivoting to the exact spot in the cubby where it gets slotted in. She knows her route.
Because it is a lot of sequencing, a lot of memorization.
Once she's organized today's 36 inches of letters, the mail volume is measured in feet, it's time for the packages. She scans every package. That's what triggers the delivery update emails we all anxiously wait for.
So it tells me what section it's in, and then they should be in perfect delivery order.
After Gunn organizes her mail, it's time to load it all into a pumpkin. That's the nickname for a large orange rolling cart to get it to the loading bay.
Oh, I could have taken that pumpkin. Okay, so I need to try to get by.
They really do look like a Cinderella-style pumpkin. On an average day, it takes her a little over an hour to sort all of her mail and get it loaded into the back of her truck. She likes to be out by 9 a.m. She's a bit later this morning because I'm slowing her down. She starts organizing the large packages into the truck. Some of them are almost as big as me.
The dog food are the big ones. The kitty litter, the dog food, the cat food.
About 1/3 of her route gets an Amazon parcel in a given day.
Amazon doesn't deliver on my route very much because there's no internet service up there or there's no cell service.
They tried to deliver on her route, but the drivers kept getting lost. She said they would ask her for help. During the pandemic, package deliveries went way up. Gunn had a 9-month stretch where she had no Saturday relief and worked 6 days a week.
There were sometimes we worked until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
While Gunn is loading the packages, I ask one of your listener questions. Do you have to wear a uniform as a rural carrier? No, but Gunn still wears postal-inspired shirts most workdays.
Because I'm proud to be a worker.
But her shirts might be a little jokey.
I have one shirt that says Monday, deliver mail, Tuesday, deliver mail. Then it comes to Saturday and it says maybe deliver mail.
Now, after hours of sorting and loading, Gunn's ready to roll out. She delivers to a few apartment mailboxes near the post office and then quickly turns into the hills. She deftly maneuvers the metal box truck with ease on twisty gravel roads, through the trees, running packages down long driveways when needed. A few people and friendly dogs stop to say hello. She has about 6 hours of driving ahead, as neither rain nor heat nor 55 degrees and overcast will stay this courier from the swift completion of her appointed rounds.
That was OPB Weekend Edition host Lillian Kerbake from behind an LLV somewhere off the Scappoose-Vernonia Highway. And listen, I gotta say, I'm a little envious of the swimming pool Connie Gunn has access to during her workday. Personally, I love a good swim, whether it's jumping in a pool or wading into the Pacific Ocean. And so for our next At Work With, I returned to, you guessed it, the Oregon coast. In Cannon Beach, I met a family of professional candy makers that's been hand-making saltwater taffy, that iconic coastal treat, and other candies for over 60 years. I tagged along with our friends from OPB's food series, Super Abundant. We got to be the proverbial kids in a candy store and find out how the sweet, stretchy, chewy stuff gets made. Follow the salty ocean breeze a few blocks from the beach and you'll arrive at the pink and white striped home of longtime Cannon Beach candy shop Bruce's Candy Kitchen. It's run by a family of candy makers that's been making treats like saltwater taffy for 4 generations. It's like walking into a rainbow. Glass displays glisten with truffles and brittles, gummies and sours, caramel corn by the bag, even little seagulls made of chocolate. In the middle, a case shaped like a giant canoe holds dozens of flavors of saltwater taffy, all made in-house by folks like owner and production manager Brian Taylor.
So my wife and I, we were dating in high school. We started dating October 24th, 1994, and her grandparents owned a candy store. And so I would come here occasionally when we were, just hanging out. And then in 1997, they had lost a candy maker, so they needed somebody else to come help. And so I started making candy in 1997.
His fellow candy maker and brother-in-law, Kyle Truax, grew up in this store.
I used to live up top, so I'd always come downstairs and grab a piece of chocolate. We had field trips when kindergartners would come in, and I was a kindergarten over in Cannon Beach Elementary, and so we'd come for a field trip.
Truax joined the family business when he was 14, first washing dishes, then learning the art of candy making. The rest is sweet history. Speaking of sweet history, we were curious about the origins of saltwater taffy. And so were you. We got this question from the Sheburl family in Estacada.
My son, Henry, would like to ask, what was the very first flavor of saltwater taffy ever made?
I'm gonna guess probably molasses or vanilla or something.
We can say that saltwater taffy originated in Atlantic City in the late 1800s. Taffy existed long before that, but as Taylor tells the story, a storm flooded a taffy shop on the Atlantic City boardwalk in 1883, dousing all the merchandise with salty ocean water. The shopkeeper returned to survey the damage.
And as he was cleaning up, a little girl walked in and asked if he had any candy left after the storm, and very sarcastically he said, "Yeah, I got a bunch of saltwater taffy."
The name stuck. But before you go thinking it's made with salt water...
Saltwater taffy is just a name. So we do put salt in one of our taffies, and that's our sea salt taffy, but we don't put salt in any of the other taffies. So
it's more of a nod to the candy's association with the beach. The candy makers here say they make 25 tons, or 3.3 million pieces of saltwater taffy a year. They start by weighing out the raw ingredients. Once the proportions are right, the mixture is cooked to a rolling bubble on the stove. Then, different colors and flavors are mixed in.
Taffy's a flavored blob of sugar. If you don't put enough flavor in there, what are we doing here?
The store makes more than 40 flavors. This batch is strawberry. Next, it's poured out onto a cooling table. It's still basically molten lava at this point, almost 250 degrees. It needs to cool for about 15 minutes. Then it's time to pull the candy with a taffy pulling machine. It's got 3 metal arms that twist and stretch the candy in kind of an infinity sign pattern. I remember watching a machine like this through the window of a candy shop at the beach boardwalk near my hometown, mesmerized. Apparently, I'm not alone.
Some people just stand and I can watch the taffy machine run all day.
A cutaway window right inside the front door provides a glimpse for customers eager to watch the candy makers at work.
Best show in town.
How y'all doing today? Good. Right now we're making some strawberry taffy.
And for the candy makers, the job is great for people watching. Not just through the workday, but through the years, too.
Generations of people like, oh, I used to come here when I was a kid, and the lady's like 60 years old, and it's like, oh, you probably saw my grandpa. And then just families over the summers, they come back and visit.
The people that come back year after year, it's time travel.
While spectators stand by, this strawberry batch of taffy is stretched and then cooled again. Off it goes towards the last step, an antique taffy wrapping machine built in 1949. It rolls the taffy in a tube until it's cut into bite-sized pieces, wrapped, and then dropped in a basket below. This taffy isn't the only candy made at Bruce's Candy Kitchen. A listener asked what Truax's favorite kind of candy to eat is.
Fresh peanut clusters. So it's like a peanut butter cluster covered in chocolate. You walk into the chocolate room and, hey, what is she making today? Peanut clusters, all right.
His favorite kind of taffy to eat is bubblegum. Along with working with his family, sharing fresh candy with their customers is his favorite part of the job.
Meeting a lot of people, filling the sample basket.
And this strawberry taffy is ready for a taste. This At Work With was a collaboration with the team behind OPB's Super Abundant series, all about the Pacific Northwest ingredients and foods you know and love. Be sure to check out their video about Oregon saltwater taffy and lots more cool stuff at opb.org/superabundant. Meanwhile, you can find a link to listen to our first At Work With episode of the Evergreen in the show notes. And check out our social media videos with the folks you heard in this episode. We'll also link those in the show notes. Also, please send us suggestions for who you would like to hear from. Is there a job you've always been intensely curious about, or a specific person who you think would be fun for us to hear from? Go to our website, opb.org/theevergreen, and let us know. And come back right here next week to hear about a spiritual group known as Twin Ray, based in Ashland, Oregon. The leaders dress in all white and charge thousands of dollars for online classes. Are they a cult? Reporter Leah Satilli fills us in on the details. If you're here listening right now, you are part of our new podcast family. Help us grow by leaving a review on your favorite podcast app, including YouTube. Follow us there, and hey, tell your friends. Mia Estrada produced this episode, and our technical director is Stephen Cray. He also engineered the episode. The OPB podcast team also includes Julie Sabatier and Sage Van Wing. Lillian Kerbake, Julie Sabatier, Megan Cuthill, Stephanie Gordon, and yours truly did the interviews you heard. The music in this episode is from Audio Network. And don't forget, if you have a question for us, please feel free to reach out. You can hit us up by email at theevergreen@opb.org. I'm Jenn Chávez. Catch you later.